Okay, so you want to own a vending machine business. Buy a few machines, drop them in a busy office building or a gym or a laundromat, and let them print money while you sleep. No employees, no rent, no landlord breathing down your neck, just a box that takes cash and gives back candy bars at a 300% markup. This is without question the most pitched passive income business on the internet. Every side hustle guru, every how I make $5,000 a month doing nothing video, eventually points at a vending machine and says, start here. And on paper, the math looks almost too easy. A candy bar that costs you 50 cents wholesale sells for $2. That's a 300% markup on a product that never asks for a raise, never calls in sick, and never quits to work for a competitor. So why isn't everyone doing this? Why isn't every strip mall parking lot lined with rows of gleaming vending machines owned by 25-year-olds who retired at 30? By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why the vending machine business is real, it does work, and it has made people genuinely wealthy, but almost none of them got there the way the internet tells you they did. Before we talk about money, we need to talk about what a vending machine business actually is. Most people have it completely backwards. When you buy a vending machine, you are not buying a money printing box. You are buying a piece of equipment that is worthless without one specific thing, a location. And that location is not something you own. It's something you rent from someone else on their terms, and it can be taken away from you at any time. The machine is not the business. The machine is a commodity. You can buy an identical used vending machine on Facebook Marketplace for $800 or a brand new one for $4,000. And neither of those numbers tells you anything about whether the business will make a dollar. What tells you everything is the answer to one question. How many people walk past that spot every single day, and how many of them are hungry, thirsty, or bored enough to stop? This is why the vending machine business is really a real estate business wearing a snack costume. The machine is just the delivery mechanism, the actual asset. The thing that can't be replicated by buying more equipment is the location contract, and locations are gate kept. The best spots, hospital break rooms, large manufacturing floors, apartment complexes with 300 units, are usually already taken, locked up by regional operators who signed multi-year agreements years ago. What's left for a new operator are the spots nobody wanted first. The quiet office building with 40 employees, the laundromat that gets maybe 30 visitors a day, the auto shop waiting room. Those can still work, but not nearly as well as the map in your head when you first got excited about this idea. Now let's talk about what it actually costs to get started, because this is where vending earns its reputation as an accessible business. At the bottom of the market, a used snack machine runs $800 to $1,500, older, needing repair, probably no card reader. A new combo machine, snacks and drinks together, runs $3,000 to $5,000, plus $200 to $300 more for a card reader, which matters because cash only leaves 20 to 30% of sales on the table. A higher-end machine with a touchscreen and remote inventory monitoring runs $8,000 to $10,000. And a micro market, the open shelf self-checkout setups replacing vending in office break rooms, runs $15,000 to $25,000 per installation once you add the cooler, the kiosk, the cameras, and the shelving. Here's the first real decision point, and it's the one most beginners get wrong. They start with one machine because that's what they can afford. And that's what every YouTube video shows. But one machine in one location making $50 to $150 a week isn't a business. It's a hobby with inventory. The economics of vending only start to work once you have a route. 10, 20, 30 machines packed into a territory tight enough to service in a single day. Because the moment you're driving 45 minutes between stops, labor eats every dollar the machine makes. Now the part the internet conveniently skips, commission. Some low traffic locations will let you place a machine for free. Anywhere with real foot traffic wants a cut, typically 10 to 25% of gross sales on a machine doing $400 a month. A 20% commission is $80 gone before you've paid for product or driven a single mile. You are, in effect, in a rent negotiation for every location you want, and the property owner holds the leverage because there's always another operator willing to offer a better split. Now let's talk about the products. Because the 300% markup math looks a lot less impressive once you follow it through, a candy bar might cost 60 cents wholesale and sell for $2. Real margin. But cost of goods across a whole machine, once you account for slow sellers and expired product, typically runs 40 to 55% of revenue. A 5-machine operator is buying chips at close to retail pricing. A 200-machine operator is negotiating directly with Frito-Lay. Then there's shrinkage. Perishables like yogurt and fresh sandwiches have a shelf life measured in days. Anything unsold is a write-off. And machines get robbed. A determined thief with a pry bar can empty one in under 2 minutes, costing $50 to several $100, plus repairs, plus the location manager's confidence in you, which is sometimes worse than the cash loss. A vending machine looks like a simple metal box, but it's a small, moody piece of equipment with a lot of ways to fail. Jammed coin mechanisms, worn motors, refrigeration units that die exactly when it's hottest and demand is highest. Card readers need a working signal, and if it drops, that machine stops taking a third of its potential payments. Budget 5 to 10% of gross revenue annually for repairs. More on an older machine. Now the variable that actually determines whether this works: restocking labor. Every machine needs a visit, weekly for a decent spot, twice a week for a busy one. A single stop takes 15 to 30 minutes once you're efficient. 10 machines is over 3 hours of restocking alone, before drive time or sourcing product. This is why route density matters more than machine count. 20 machines in 1 square mile is a real business. 20 machines across 60 miles pays worse than minimum wage. Let's put real numbers on a single machine. A mid-sized office might generate $400 to $600 a month in gross sales. Subtract cost of goods at 45% and you're near $250. Subtract a 20% commission and you're at roughly $150. Subtract gas, your time, and an allowance for repairs, and you're often left with $50 to $100 of actual profit per machine per month, not nothing. Here's where the business actually works, and it's the same lesson as every business in this series. It's a volume game. 30 machines making $75 a month is $2,200 before you've optimized anything. Real operators specialize. Some chase high traffic locations like hospitals and factories, accepting the higher commission because volume covers it. Others run micro markets, where higher transaction values justify better margin products. A regional operator running 200 machines is not doing the same business as someone running 3. At that scale, you've hired route drivers, and your job has shifted from restocking machines to managing people who restock machines. Payroll, fleet maintenance, route software. You're buying direct from manufacturers, dropping cost of goods from 45% toward 35%. And you're negotiating location contracts as a portfolio, one master agreement covering dozens of buildings instead of pitching office managers one at a time. Now the trend actually reshaping the industry: cashless payment and remote monitoring. A modern machine reports in real time exactly what's selling, what's low, and what's about to expire, straight to an app, instead of visiting every machine on a fixed schedule, whether it needs it or not. An operator with remote monitoring only drives to machines that actually need restocking, cutting trips on a 30-machine route by a third. Let's do the 2 scenarios, the way we always do on this channel. The optimistic version: you start with $10,000, buy 8 used refurbished combo machines at around $1,000 each, add card readers with what's left, and spend 2 months landing 8 decent placements: small offices, a gym, an apartment complex. Each machine averages $80 a month in actual profit, after cost of goods, commission, and your time. That's $640 a month, roughly $7,700 a year on a $10,000 investment. Not retirement money, a real functioning side business. You reinvest the profit into machines 9 and 10. By year 3, if you've kept reinvesting, you might be running 25 to 30 machines and clearing $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Now the realistic version: you buy those same 8 used machines, and 3 are older than the seller told you, with worn bill validators quietly costing you 20 to 30% of revenue before you even notice. You spend 2 months pitching locations and only secure 5. Most managers already have a vending contract, and the ones who don't want a bigger commission split than you budgeted. 2 of your 5 locations turn out to be lower traffic than they looked on your 1 scouting visit. 1 machine gets its coin mechanism pried open in month 4. $300 stolen, $200 more in repairs. Your actual per machine profit lands closer to $40 a month, and your total monthly income is $200. Not $640. At that rate, it takes years, not months, to reinvest your way up to a real business. The difference between those 2 outcomes isn't luck. It's location quality, machine condition, and whether you understood commission before you signed anything. The exact variables every Get Started in Vending Today video skips on the way to showing you a stack of cash from the coin box. There's one more layer worth understanding because it's the actual growth story of the industry now. consolidation. Private equity and larger vending conglomerates have been quietly buying up independent regional operators for years. An operator running 80 well-placed machines with solid long-term contracts is an attractive acquisition target because the buyer isn't purchasing metal boxes. They're purchasing negotiated relationships with property managers that would take years to rebuild. For someone who spends a decade building a real route, the exit isn't running the machines forever. It's often selling the whole route to a larger operator. So what's the actual thesis here? A vending machine business is not a machine business. It's a real estate and logistics business that happens to use vending machines as its delivery mechanism, where the real asset is the location agreement. One machine in a mediocre spot is a novelty. 30 machines in good spots, bought at the right price, serviced efficiently, is a genuine small business that can replace an income. The gap between those two outcomes is exactly the gap between the version of this business the internet sells you